Hello, I'm Tupper, Head of Community for VRChat. These are the video patch notes for VRChat 2023.2.3. So, let's get straight into it. For the first feature, we've added several new types of group instances. Let's talk about Groups Plus first. Groups Plus instances are very similar to Friends Plus instances. If you have a friend who's in the instance, you can join even if you're not a member of the group. You can join them through the normal ways that you join friends. However, if you are in the group, you can join the instance without having a friend present. The instance will be visible in the group instances list. Group public instances are very similar to public instances. You can join them even if you don't know anyone in that instance or in that group. In fact, group public instances are listed alongside traditional public instances in the UI. We think Group Plus instances will be great for that friend of a friend networking that Friends Plus is so good at, and Group Publics, on the other hand, will be a way to retain a little bit of that random element that publics have while still being managed and controlled by the group. Now, don't forget, since both Groups Plus and Groups Publics are both group instances, anyone with a permission set up to moderate that group's instances can warn, kick, or even ban people out of those instances. This means that groups can curate their instances, moderating them as they see fit. We've added a bunch of group role permissions to help you organize your group as you see fit. This includes 2 new instance creation permissions, as well as many others, that let you control who is allowed to open these new instance types. The new instance creation permissions are enabled by default for most member roles. So if you want to check those out, or add them to different roles, or disable them completely, head on over to the VRChat home, where you can manage your group. To manage your group, click on Groups on the side, and then click on the group that you want to manage. Click Settings, and then Roles, and then click on the role that you want to edit. From there, you'll be able to see the permissions on that role and change them how you see fit. We've also buffed up group bans. Now, we mentioned group bans earlier, but for a bit of a refresher, they allow you to ban someone from your group, which prevents them from joining the group. Now, in addition to that, banned users can't join any group instances. If you run into troublemakers in your Group Plus or Group Public instance, where, again, non-group members are allowed to join, you can use the group ban function to remove them from all of your instances for good. You're also able to look up users and ban them, even if they aren't in the instance with you at that very moment. With all of these new group instances, we needed a quick way for you to be able to see what groups have active instances going right now. To that end, we've added the Group Locations UI to the social menu. You can use this view to see where your groups currently have active instances. All 3 group instance types will be listed here: Group, Group Plus, and Group Public. Notably, you also see all of your groups in one menu here, so you can just browse through all of the different instances that are open for your groups and decide where you want to go hang out. Next up, we've added a very basic form of group search. So if you go to the group's interface and search, you'll now get some results back. The search is really simple right now. It doesn't have filtering, it doesn't have sorting. Those are going to come with later updates. For now, though, we think that this very simple search is going to make it easier for you to seek out groups that line up with your interests or line up with what you want to do in VRChat. Finally, we have added queues to group instances. So when you create a group instance of any type, you now have the option to turn on a queue. If you turn this on, users who try to join that instance when it's full will be put into a queue. You can wait on that queue to pop, and when it does, you'll be notified and you'll be able to join the instance. Your spot will be saved until you load in. On to improvements and fixes. We have made some changes to how we show the player limit for each world on the interface and in portals. Remember the previous groups video with straws? In that, we talked about replacing the hard cap and soft cap with maximum capacity and recommended capacity. This is the first step in that process. Now, when you check on an instance, you'll see 2 numbers: the current player count and then the maximum number of players that's allowed in that world. The old soft cap has been moved to the world information section. Soon, with an SDK update, creators will have the freedom to set those 2 numbers separately. You'll also see these changes on portals, so portals will show the current and maximum player counts instead of the old soft cap number. Moving on, we fixed the tutorial so that it only happens once per account instead of once per install. If you reinstall VRChat, you don't need to redo the tutorial. Our QA team was pretty glad about this one. Camera components on avatars now enable when you refresh the avatar after adding someone as a friend. If you're unfamiliar, on PC, you can have a camera Unity component on your avatar, which makes certain shader effects possible. You can only see these cameras if you're friends with the person wearing the avatar. This friends-only requirement is not being lifted, but after adding a new friend, simply reloading their avatar by hiding and showing should properly enable the camera component. We fixed the camera smoothing option and how it applies. It no longer applies to locomotion, which means you can use your joystick to locomote around and your camera lens will clip into your avatar anymore. We've also improved how the VRChat interface behaves when you're in a moving station, like a jet. Even when flying at Mach 1, you'll still be able to interact with your menu. As a bonus, we've also fixed the camera's UI so it behaves as well at high speed. We've improved the reconnection process this for when you lose connection to VRChat. We'll try our best to put you back into the instance that you were in when you reconnect. We've fixed some issues where fizzbones would misbehave when scaled down to 0 or really small values, and then you scale them back up. Finally, we've improved the refresh rate of instance populations when browsing worlds. This is a subtle but impactful change. Previously, when you were browsing through worlds, instance information would be saved for way too long before refreshing, so you'd see an instance with 10 people in it, join it, and it would only have 2 people in it. Now, it refreshes way faster, and those numbers should be far more accurate. That's it for this video patch notes. As usual, check out the description for the full patch notes. There's a lot more in there, and we only really cover the big stuff in these videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Need a drinking game for how many times I say instances in this video. I am not responsible for the outcome.